I always feel like it takes me about 5 times to film the intro because I'm like so giddy and excited and I talk a million miles a minute. But hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Well, welcome to my May reset. We have a fresh frothy coffee here. That is a tongue twister. I am just in a good mood today. I think I got a good night's sleep and I'm just really happy. It's a Sunday. Matt's at work right now, which I'm not happy he's at work, but like the house is quiet. I've taken the dogs for a walk. The vibes are just great. It's really sunny here, warm. It's gonna be a great day and I'm really looking forward to resetting for May. April was a really good month, don't get me wrong, but May I'm just so excited about. I'm so excited about May for so many reasons and we will definitely get into it. But hi, hello, if you guys are new here, my name's Carter, I'm 26. I talk all about getting through life in your 20s unfiltered. And I think it's so cool. The other day I went back and watched some of my older resets. I was trying to find my first reset and my first reset was December 2020 or 2021. We were still living in the condo we were renting. So at least 3 years ago. And it's just so cool to see how they've evolved over the years, even like just with myself. And I was saying this to Matt, and I'll get into this after, that I love to take breaks from goal setting. I think it's really important to do. But me 4 years ago would not have been able to do that. She would have been like goals, goals, goals. And now I feel like I have a bit of a healthier relationship with productivity and balance, and it's just really neat to see the evolution over the years. So if you guys are interested, I have a whole playlist on the resets from 2021 till now, and it's just really interesting to see how like my budgeting style has changed, my goal setting, just my overall, like I said, thoughts on like work-life balance and just everything. I feel like this month has been, I guess we could just like talk about this month. First of all, a huge thank you to you guys for just being so kind and supportive when I said that I was gonna go down in uploads. There was a few times where I definitely had some tears in a good way because y'all were so kind, and I'm actually gonna pull up some of the comments because some of them were just absolutely so beyond sweet. Specifically, one of you guys said, when you honor the season that you were in, you show others that it's okay for them to do the same in their seasons. It's a really beautiful thing to see you nurturing your passions with intentionality. And another person said, as someone else with chronic illness, I'm always really inspired when someone openly makes a choice to take care of themselves and give others permission to do the same. And I never really thought about it from that perspective of me doing that is also sharing that it's okay for you guys to do that. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you. I have talked about this before and it's something I have and still am working through in therapy. It comes from like some perfectionist oldest sibling traits, but I put my worth in like my views, I put my worth in my analytics, in my corporate job and in YouTube as well. Giving myself the permission to go down in uploads because it's what's right for me. It sounds like it was a really quick, easy decision, but it's something I am so proud of myself for doing because I know how much work it has taken me to get to this point where I'm like, I can do this and it's not going to impact my success. Like I can still be successful and I'm just setting a better work-life balance for myself. So I just want to say a really big thank you to everyone who was just super kind. I really appreciate it. I knew you guys would be, but I just wanted to say thank you. And I have decided, I also asked what you guys thought about upload schedules because I, as a consumer, don't really care when a creator has an upload schedule. And a lot of you guys didn't either. I posted a poll and I really just love getting your input because I'm a consumer, but like I'm a biased consumer for my own creating my own content. So I love getting your point of views. And a lot of you guys just said that you watch videos based on your routine and your schedule. So I am going to stick with not having an upload schedule. I know I said I was going to try it back out, but I just think it's best if I don't. I'm going to aim for like Sundays and Wednesdays, but it might be Monday and Thursday one week. And going forward, there will be at least 2 uploads a week, preferably Sunday and Wednesday or Monday and Thursday. That kind of seems to be what works best for me. But sometimes you guys might get a bonus 3rd video. That was a big thing that happened this month. We also went to go see Noah Kahan, which was, I can't put into words. That was the first time I had experienced like post-concert depression. I have been a fan of Noah Kahan since Busyhead. Like I've been a fan since his like early days. And Matt is a more recent fan. Matt found Noah Kahan through a Stick season, like I think a lot of people did. It was a really great evening together and I surprised Matt with the tickets. And so that was really fun too. It's like my love language, honestly. And we had a really great date night and I was in love with his set list. Have a good mix of older and newer songs in their set list. I did such a good job. I mean, he played Maine, which is like one of my favorite songs ever and truly the best night ever. He was on stage for over 2 hours. He put on such an amazing show and he was sick as well. Like I was just blown away. He was amazing. It was such a great concert. What else did we do? We finished the bathroom, which was so exciting. That was my first like true makeover project on my own. That was a ton of fun. We got our countertops. It was a really great month. I always just want to say with these, like as much as there was great moments, there was also really low moments. But I feel like every time I'm starting to heal from things in my personal life, the wound just gets reopened, and that happened again this month. And so I always want to remind you guys that as much as I'm saying like it was a great month, there was also some low points too, as there always is. And yeah, but that's like a little bit of a reflection on April. It was overall just a good month. I went to Toronto too. I can't believe that. I got to see Morgan Book, who is one of my dearest friends. I find this time of year is when I kind of start to get in a bit of a creative rut with YouTube, just because like winter is so long here and I just want to like do things outside. So I love going to Toronto in the spring. I always come back really re-inspired. That's a little bit of a reflection on April. In terms of what we're going to do today, because y'all know I just like love to switch up the resets all the time. I am going to go over my April goals. I'm actually not doing any goal setting, which I will get into why. I'm going to save the budget for a separate video. I think I'm going to bring them back. I think I'm ready. I never force myself to film content, even if I know it's content that will do well. For example, if I didn't want to film this reset, I would just not film it. Like I don't care about the views, in the sense that like if I don't want to film something, I'm never going to force myself. So I took a break from the budgeting content, but I was really feeling inspired. I think it's because I got a new budget spreadsheet. I'm just so excited. So I'm gonna film that in a separate video. I know some of you guys are interested and some aren't, and you guys like when they're separated. So we're gonna do some monthly favorites because I didn't do that last month and I have quite a few this month. We'll do the typical book stuff, my book stats, the books I read this month, my TBR for next month, and then movies, TV shows we've watched. Really looking forward to May. I wrote down a few things I'm looking forward to. Our Disney trip, I'm so excited. We are going to celebrate our 1-year engagement anniversary and doing something I have never done before. And that is I am taking a week off. Not just from my corporate job, I'm taking a week off of YouTube, which I find so hard because I love what I do. I also love my corporate job, but like I can go on PTO, like I have unpaid PTO, but like that I can do that. Something about YouTube that like I don't like going a week without uploading. Like I just love what I do so much. Going down in uploads, learning to honor my boundaries. I think it's gonna be really good for me to do that. I know that you guys will still be here when I get back. I always think in my head, like if I miss a week of uploads, people are just gonna like forget about me. That's just how my brain works. But I'm taking a whole week off and I think it's gonna be really, really nice. So we leave for Florida on the Friday, May 10th. My last upload will be May 8th, and then I will be back the next Wednesday, which I think is like the 15th, and you guys will see a vlog on the 16th. So I'm taking about a week off, which is gonna be so nice. One thing I'm sure a lot of other creators can relate, but when I go on vacation, the week leading up to a trip, I am insanely stressed because I'm trying to pre-film a shit ton of videos to make sure I have content go up when I'm gone. I just decided this time, you know what? We're not doing that. We are going on an actual vacation. And so I was like, I'm not filming a pack and prep with me. I'm not filming a travel day. I'm not doing any of this. I am completely unplugging. Make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram because I'll post stories and whatnot, but I won't be posting any YouTube videos when I'm gone, which I think will be so nice. I haven't fully decided if I'm gonna film a vlog. I really wanna bring the camcorder and do just like a really casual camcorder Disney vlog because we've done so many Disney vlogs, and as much as they're all a little different, we tend to do the same things, and I really just wanna totally unplug on this trip, even filming. So I'm gonna bring my camcorder. If I wanna film, great. If I don't, I'm not putting pressure on myself to do it. I really just wanna like enjoy a trip. We are going with friends. Matt and I just like, we love vlogging at Disney. Like I don't want anyone to misinterpret this, but we've never gone and not filmed. And so I think it'll be really nice to just go and have a real total vacation and unplug from work. Because as much as this is a hobby and a passion, it is also my job, right? I'm gonna post tons of stories, so make sure you follow me over on Instagram if you don't. And I'll probably post a few shorts on here too. I'll probably do like a little, well, I'm actually doing a really exciting, I was gonna say I'm not filming. I'm doing a really exciting travel day, like reel, but I find short form content a little different than long form because I can just like take little clips here and there and put a voiceover over it. It's just like a little less high maintenance than a YouTube vlog can be. And we're actually working with Porter, which was on my dream list of brands to work with. So this is a work trip for us. We're working with Porter Airlines because they do a direct flight nonstop from Ottawa to Orlando. So we're working with them on a little travel day reel, which is so fun because I can just like take little clips here and there, edit it on the plane, and then send it in when we get to Florida and then be like totally unplugged for the week. So it's really, really exciting. Anyways, that was really long-winded, but that's something I'm looking forward to in May and I'm really, really excited about it. Next, it's garage sale season. We all know I love to thrift. I love to go to flea markets. I love garage sale season. And May is typically the start of garage sales here in the Ottawa area. So I'm really excited. I ordered like a stroller or like a trolley wagon and everything. I'm going hardcore and I'm really excited about that. The first one we're going to is next weekend, and then the Great Glebe garage sale is at the end of May. So I'm so excited for garage sale season and just warm weather. We're gonna get a barbecue hopefully and just enjoy the nice warm weather. We built you guys saw the outdoor couch, and so I'm just so excited for like the real warm weather to be here. We only live about 35 minutes from the river, like the beach, the St. Lawrence. So we'll be able to like go to the beach this summer and actually swim in the water, which you can do in Ottawa, but like our levels are really gross, and I would never swim in the Ottawa River, but I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to May. So anyways, those are some things that I'm looking forward to. But let's jump into doing a little bit of like an April goal reflection, and then I'll kind of talk about taking a break from goal setting and all that stuff. Okay, first one was explore a new town on a solo date. Did not do that. Focus on my 45-day challenge, which I am still doing. It's just been kind of tweaked, but I have been really proud that this month I've maintained lifting back into a routine 3 days a week, 2 lower body, 1 upper body, getting my steps in. I'm averaging about 14 to 15,000 steps, protein intake, and I've been consistently getting up around 7, which is kind of when the sun rises here. So really happy with that. That's like a good balance for me, I find. 4 to 5 times a week, short form posting. I have been doing that and I really just like it. Like I said, I find long form and short form, I use different creative juices. I just think it's really fun to kind of try new things out short form wise. So I did that, really proud of myself for that. One date night outside of the house, we're doing that tonight. So I'm gonna cross that off and say yes. House and home, I ended up taking off the porch refresh one because that was like a May goal. We were trying to do 1 reno a month. We did finish the bathroom and then we did not hang the shelves up in the dining room yet. We're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do here. Well, actually we did decide, but our IKEA package is like stuck in transit. So anyways, that did not get done. So those were the April goals. 57% completion rate. Not my best, not my worst. It is what it is. I am not setting any goals this month. I started this in 2022 when I decided to take a break from goal setting in July because it was my birthday month. It's Matt's birthday month. Typically every year, like in June or July, like halfway through the year, I like to take a break from goal setting. But this year, May kind of just felt right, especially because we were like unplugging on this vacation and we just have a really busy month. I am at a point in my life where I have decent momentum in certain aspects of my life. And I can talk about this in another video, but when you're juggling a lot of things, you are never going to be like 100% there in every category, right? You're just going to pick and choose which ones you want to give your attention to. And I feel like those categories where I've given a lot of attention to, I have good momentum in terms of my health and wellness, social media. So I know that even if I don't set goals, like things will still get done because like realistically, we still have to do home projects around the house. Realistically, I still need to budget my money and I still need to post on social media. Like I want to, not that I need to, but you know what I mean? Like I'm still going to do it even if I don't set a goal. I think that taking a break, whether it's like going on a trip and unplugging or taking a break from goal setting, is so important because I feel like you need to take that break once in a while to come back to your goals with that renewed focus and energy. I personally find that I get really lost in the sauce of working towards my goals, that I sometimes forget to enjoy life, honestly. And I've gotten a lot better about this in recent years. I feel like this is the first year I've really been able to balance like enjoying my life, but also achieving goals. But I just think it's so important to remember that our goals they're great to accomplish, but like it's not the end. Like that is not like, it sounds, well, I guess a goal is like an end goal, but there's life to enjoy along the way. And I never want to get lost in that. A little bit earlier than usual, but I find midway through the year super important to just kind of step back and look at the bigger picture again. This is often when I'm like in the thick of working on my goals. And so I don't know, I've always kind of felt this strong pull in like May, June to take a step back and reflect maybe reassess my yearly goals, make adjustments if I need to. Have a lot of perfectionist tendencies. Once again, I think it's like an oldest sibling trait. Goal progression can really easily slip into the pursuit of perfection. Maybe you guys don't feel ready to take a break from your goals this month. Maybe it's in like June or July, but I really encourage you guys to like take a month off. I want to do things this month that like enrich my life, but I don't feel the need to accomplish anything. This kind of ties back to like my perfectionism mindset, but I am learning that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to step off the path of reaching our goals, because realistically, if you step off the path, you're not going to forget about them. And I'm really just trying to reframe my perfectionist thinking. So taking that month off from goal setting, taking that vacation from everything, I think will be really beneficial to me. Something that I learned in therapy a while ago was taking a break from your goals doesn't mean that you're giving up on them. It just means that you're smart enough to know when you need to take a step back to recharge and reflect and come back to your goals when you feel like you have that renewed energy and focus. Because if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like I really just need a break to recharge, and then you still keep trekking along with your goals, like you're really just not achieving anything. And I've realized it's best to take a step back and let myself recharge, come back with that focus, than to kind of trek along like half-assed, for me at least. I'm just trying to remember to enjoy the journey, not necessarily just the destination. So anyways, that's my long spiel on taking a break from goal setting. And I don't feel like you have to do it this month, or you can really just do it whenever you feel like you need that break. I just thought that May was a good month, since I was already kind of taking a break for a week to enjoy my trip, that it was kind of a good month to just kind of take a break from the goal setting, reevaluate, readjust, and all that. But I still wanted to make it fun, because I feel like these rest months are really important to just like I said, enjoy your life and not the destination. And of course, like we still have home projects that we want to do. And I find that I'm really loving doing the home projects. We have to replace our back door. We have to get the front porch done. We're working on the kitchen, but not setting any concrete goals this month. And it feels really, really nice. So that is the spiel on goal setting. Now let's jump into the book stuff. So this month I read 5 books. I read 1,798 pages. I read 100% fiction, which is pretty normal for me. My top 2 genres were thriller and literary fiction. And then my average rating was a 3.1 star this month. Pretty low. So first book I read this month was No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. And I'm not gonna lie, I had pretty high expectations for this because I loved her previous book, What Lies in the Woods. This book follows our main character, Emma, and her husband. And long story short, her parents are dead and she does not have a relationship with either of her 2 sisters. Then at the beginning, we find out that Emma's husband has lost his job. She finds out she's pregnant and they're like, well, you know, we still have my parents' house. Like, I guess it got passed down to them. So they end up moving into it, and the talk of the town is that Emma murdered her parents, and her husband doesn't really know her history. He just kind of knows that her parents have died. This book just follows Emma struggling to reconnect with her estranged sisters and kind of figure out who killed her parents, and that's kind of the premise of the whole book. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It wasn't bad by any means. I think it was just a bit of a letdown after What Lies in the Woods. The beginning and the end were really good. However, it just lost steam in the middle, and I was just reading it being like, tell me who did it. I just want to know. I will say the twist was pretty good, but it just lost steam in the middle. And that's really all I have to say on it. And I read Gleam by Raven Kennedy. And if you want my like super initial raw reaction, you can go watch my home vlog because I had just finished it in that video. This is book 3, the Plated Prisoner series, which I feel like that's all I've talked about lately. This was a 4-star read. It was definitely the best one in the series so far. It's one of those series where each book gets better. This is a King Midas retelling, which I've talked about this so many times. So it's so hard to talk about the 3rd book in a series without giving anything away. But once again, King Midas retelling that follows Oren, who is his plated prisoner. She is like his golden mistress, if you will. He has a lot of them, and a lot of deception, court intrigue, drama, backstabbing in these books. I liked book 2. However, we had a few different plots going on in different places, and I really just love when the characters are kind of all in one place and you can really feel the stakes get higher because you're not sure how they're going to interact with each other or how the situations are going to play out. I don't like slow burn. It's not my cup of tea. However, the tension and the slow burn in this was absolutely incredible, like so well done. And Oren had some amazing character development in this book. So I really love this. I highly recommend checking the series out if you haven't already. And it is on Kindle Unlimited as well. And Yeah, on the back it just says, dive back into the world of Aurea where kings are liars and magic has a price. This adult fantasy series is full of intrigue, sacrifice, and romance where gold is going to show the ultimate price of greed. So I had so much fun reading this, and I'm definitely going to jump into book 4. That's going to be on my TBR for May. Okay, then I read Paradise Rot by Jenny, I don't know if it's Jenny Haval. And I don't really know if I even want to rate this. I rated it a 2-star. However, it wasn't that it was bad, it just like wasn't for me. And the ratings on this are like either they loved it or hated it. The average rating I think on Goodreads is like a 3.5. This is a very lyrical book, which is not for me. However, this was described to me as a LGBT horror magical realism lit fit book, and it's 148 pages. I was like, amazing. I read it on the plane ride home from Toronto. However, it just wasn't really what I was expecting, and based on a lot of the reviews that were lower stars on Goodreads, a lot of people said the same. This follows Jo, who she moves to Australia for university. I believe she's from the Netherlands, and long story short, she's trying to find a place to live, and this girl, you know, comes along and she's like, you can come live with me. But it is a house that used to be like a brewery, so it's like a very open like warehouse vibe where there's just, it seems like a house in the middle of it, like an apartment. And it just says it's a house with no walls, a roommate with no boundaries, and a home that seems very alive. I found the description to be pretty off on this because the description says this is a portrayal of sexual awakening and queer desire, a complex, poetic, and strange novel. I didn't really find it to have much sexual awakening in it, to be quite honest. This book, I will warn you guys, it does have a little bit of a pee kink in it. So if that's not your cup of tea like me, I would not read this because it was just a little gross to me. Wasn't for me. Let's see what I said on this. It said, reading this felt like having a weird ass dream that you're trying to fall asleep and you're not sure if this is real or not. I just didn't get it. The extreme excess of describing everything when people peed just made me uncomfortable and not in a good way. I really wanted to like this because of the queer awakening, but unfortunately not for me. I enjoy weird books, but not this one. So yeah, if you like very prosy lyrical books, you might enjoy this. I just like wasn't getting the references where she'd be like a rotten apple. Like, what is that trying to explain? I don't really get it. So not for me, but I can totally understand how other people would love it if you like very prosy and lyrical books. Then we have Miss Tarryn Fisher herself with her new release, which is Good Half Gone. I got this from the library and I didn't realize it's the large font. So I had a fun time reading this. I feel like a lot of thriller authors, Tarryn's first book, The Wives, 5-star read, totally got me back into reading during the pandemic. Her other releases were kind of mediocre. So I was like, okay, she had a good book. She had 2 mediocre books. Like, what's this going to be? Kind of a bit of a toss up. And honestly, it ended up being decent. I gave it a 3.5, which once again, that's not a bad rating. It just didn't blow me away. I will say if you liked Ward D by Frida McFadden, you would love this book because it kind of follows that same prison trying to find a murderer vibe. So this is about Iris, and Iris has a twin sister named Piper. The beginning of the book follows them on the night that Piper gets kidnapped, but no one believes Iris and her grandma when they go to the police. They're like, oh, she just ran away. Like, she's 16 years old. She just ran away. Then we flash forward to present time. She decides to go intern at the Shoal Island Hospital for like the criminally insane, which kind of gives, honestly, it was giving kind of Shutter Island vibes, or at least that's what I was imagining when I was reading this. And she's basically going there to kind of find out if she can figure out who killed her sister. So this book, we're just following her in this jail where she kind of like stays. She's interning. She, I think, is getting her master's in like psychology or something and trying to figure out who done it basically. I will say, I think if this story had not introduced so many secondary storylines to this, I would have rated it higher. We learn about Iris and Piper's childhood with their mom who had a drug issue, which doesn't really have a connection to the story at all. Then we go off on this like romance subplot, which kind of necessary, I guess, but also not really. Then we have this grandmother who's going through medical issues, not really important either. And I just found that the narrative kind of lost its way and all these like storylines were just unnecessary detours. And there was good momentum, and then it kind of started just like grinding to a halt with all these unnecessary subplots going on. So it was a good book. I do recommend reading it if you can pick it up at the library or maybe like a used bookstore or something. I wouldn't go out of my way to pay full price for it, but it was still a good, captivating read. I think I read it in like 2 days. All right, last book I read was I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. This was recommended to me by my gal, Lauren Louise, Big Book Lady on TikTok and Instagram. Premise of this book is so interesting. It's basically about an unnamed narrator who is stalking a influencer who is sleeping with the same guy that she is. Honestly, I really enjoyed this. However, I only gave it a 3-star. It was a very frantic pace, super fast paced, short chapters. Like I couldn't put it down. And for a debut novel, I think it was great. And Sheena Patel is definitely on my radar now. However, I will say I'm one of those people who gets really tired when each chapter in a literary fiction book starts the same. For example, the chapters either start with the man I want to be with or the woman I'm obsessed with blank. And I just found that to get a little tiresome, but that's just like a personal trait of the book that I was just not really vibing with. But also, like, I didn't necessarily love it. I just enjoyed it. Like, I can't figure out exactly why it's not a 4 or 5 star. It just wasn't, if that makes sense. But once again, if you could pick this up at the library or you see it at a used bookstore, it was a really fun time. I don't really know what I was expecting, but yeah, this book's all about just like power relationships, obsession, the patriarchy, and social media, and it was really unique. I can't really put my finger on why it wasn't a 4 or 5 star. Maybe I'll have to just like sit and reflect on it a little bit more, but it was a good time. Let's talk about my May TBR. So my May TBR is comprised of mainly books that are gonna be available for me at the library soon. There's not really a ton of new releases coming out. I'm just gonna check my Notion super quick and see. I'm actually kind of excited about Hannah Brown's book, like from The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I did put that on hold at the library, and then there's 2 books that I've pre-ordered. The Honey Witch, which is the cozy fantasy book, and then also The House That Horror Built, which is a horror novel. Those are kind of on my radar. If I get to them this month, great. If I don't, totally fine. However, these are the books that I either have from the library that I want to read or that are coming from the library soon. We have The Warm Hands of Ghosts, which might have been on my TBR last month too, to be honest. I never got to it, by Catherine Arden. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. Also have the reappearance of Rachel Price. I love Miss Holly Jackson. I don't usually love a YA thriller mystery. However, because I was able to get it from the library, I was like, you know what, why not read it? I don't think I'd go out of my way to buy it, but I really want to finish Expiration Dates by Rebecca, the girl that wrote In 5 Years. I'm about 30% of the way done it right now. Rebecca Searle. Really interesting concept. It's about a girl named Daphne who, she basically gets this piece of paper and it'll say the next person she's gonna date and how long she's gonna date them. So it'll say like Noah, 5 weeks, Hugh, 3 months. But then she goes on a blind date with a guy named Jake, and the paper she gets for Jake has no date on it. So she's trying to figure out, like, is this like my end game? And I'm about 30% of the way through right now. The back of the book does say Daphne knows things Jake doesn't, information that if he found out would break his heart. So I'm kind of waiting to see what the shocking twist is in it. So I'll let you guys know how I feel about that one, but I'm really hoping to finish that one this month. I will say I have not been able to get into Funny Story or Wild Love or Just for the Summer, which is really disappointing. I'm at 30% in all of them, so maybe we'll see if we can finish one of them this month, but I'm not really vibing with any of them, which is kind of sad because they were pretty high up on like my anticipated reads for 2024. Then we have Glow, which is the 4th book in the Plated Prisoner series, which I am so excited about. Woman Eating has been on my like books to buy list, and now it's on my TBR because I actually got it on an Amazon daily deal and I'm really excited about it. Super short literary fiction read. I think it's like 230 pages. It's about a young mixed race vampire who must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live amongst humans with her incessant hunger in a stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. I love a good short read, especially on months where we're on vacation and stuff, because literary fiction is typically pretty fast-paced, and anything under like 250 pages I can usually like knock out on a plane ride. Then we have Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, which has been on my TBR for probably about 3 months now. And it's not that I don't want to read it, because I really do. I just feel like I haven't found the right opportunity to pick it up. So I really want to get to that this month because I'm on my last renewal for it at the library. No one's waiting for it, but I've renewed it like 3 times now. So I really want to get to that this month. Next, we have Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh. I'm about a chapter into this. I started this in Toronto as well. This says a fictional take on the 1951 mass poisoning of a small French village in Point Saint-Esprit. This is about Elodie, presently a widowed wife of a village baker who recounts the events leading up to a mass tragedy that occurred in her town. I'm very intrigued by this book. And lastly, we have Laura the Wild by Annalie Sabrana. So excited. My hold finally came through on this and I'm really looking forward to it. This is a romantasy debut that features an enchanted library. And listen, Plated Prisoner has made me give Faye a second chance. As we all know, I didn't love ACOTAR. I stopped reading after the third book and I was like, I am not a Faye gal. That's not my like subgenre, my fantasy subgenre of choice. However, Plated Prisoner proved me wrong, and I think it was just that me and Miss Sarah J. Maas didn't vibe together. So I'm excited to read this and see what I think about the Fae in this situation. This is about a girl named Lore, and it just says she's trapped in a forested prison. She makes a deal with a Fae Lord. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really she's after the one thing the Fae covet above all, magic of her own. Of course, when undeniable chemistry ignites, we all know she's gonna fall in love with the Fae Lord. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. It kind of gives me like Shadow King vibes. So those are all the books that are on my May TBR, and I'm really, really excited about them. April was not the best reading month. I feel like because I tried to start so many of those romance new releases that kind of felt that they were putting me in a slum. I definitely did not read a ton this month, but that's okay. Is what it is. Let's talk about everything we watched this month, and then we'll end off with the favorites. I actually don't think we watched any new movies this month. I think Poor Things, that was last month. Oh, we did watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie the other night, and that was stinking cute, and it was feeling very nostalgic, healing my inner child. I loved it, honestly. TV shows. This is where it gets tricky. I haven't decided if I want to rate my TV shows or not, because if I don't like a TV show, I'm just gonna stop it, because I know it's like multiple episodes, usually a few seasons. Whereas like a book, I don't know how to explain it, but like a book, I could like read the whole thing and be like, oh, this was 2 stars. But a TV show, if I'm not vibing with it, I'm just gonna turn it off and not keep watching it. So I feel like any TV show I talk about is either like a 6 out of 10 or above, because I'm realistically not going to keep watching a TV show I don't like. So just to clarify, I'm only going to be talking about shows that I enjoyed. I'm also really trying hard to not be like a judge a book by its cover TV show gal. Like I judge a TV show pretty hard by its first episode. For example, we tried to get into Dexter. We watched the first episode. I was like, I'm not vibing with this. But then everyone else said it like gets better as it goes. So I'm trying so hard to not be judgmental with the first episode in shows. Shows that we watched this month. We watched 3 killer shows. We watched 3 Body Problem. I wrote in my notes, best way to explain this, sci-fi but not hard to understand with some history and mystery. If you like Black Mirror, you would enjoy it. I love Benedict Wong. I'm a huge fan, so I loved that. If you guys didn't know, Benioff and Weiss direct and produce this, and they're the producers of Game of Thrones, so there was so many good Game of Thrones actors in this. I was eating that shit up. I think there'll always be disagreement in terms of like the book versus the TV show movie, who did it better, blah, 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 but you kind of have to be able to separate the two. I've never read the book, so I can't really say, but I feel like you can kind of separate the two and have 2 different opinions. Ending to the first season, a little bit of a letdown for me, but really excited to see where the show goes. And honestly, it was some of the best TV I'd seen in the longest time, and it really set the bar high for April. Then we watched Fallout, which I just loved. 10 on 10, honestly. I am someone who has like a very deep appreciation for not just like acting and plot, but also like set design and world building, props, and this was just exceptionally done. Matt, as someone who's played all the video games, said it was so accurate. He loved like the little Easter eggs, not Easter eggs, but like he was like, oh, I remember that from the video game. It was funny when it needed to be funny. It was serious when it was serious. I don't really have enough film lingo to really describe it, to be honest. I am someone who really struggles with multiple storylines, but it was so well done in terms of like timing of the cuts, overlapping audio. I was truly just like entranced from start to finish with the show. 10 on 10, even if you haven't played the video game or you're not into video games, I highly recommend it. Kind of, for me, falls into the same caliber as like The Last of Us. Like even if you didn't play the game, you'll still love it. And then we watched Baby Reindeer, which I feel like is one of those shows you're either gonna love it or hate it. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews online. I was one of those people who loved it. And that is saying a lot by someone who, how do I phrase this? There was definitely times I had to look away, don't get me wrong. It was a show that could have easily triggered me. I'll leave it at that. I didn't realize that the actor who plays Donnie, like this is his story that happened in real life. And if you guys don't know what this is about Donnie. And basically he is dealing with a female stalker. Her name is Martha. And he's also kind of being forced to face this dark buried trauma that he has, which there is a big trigger warning for SA in this, by the way. I think Jessica Gunning, who plays Martha, did an amazing job. I don't know her as an actress. I haven't really seen her in anything else, but she did sensationally. Like, I couldn't imagine anyone else in that role. The way that this deals with trauma was very relatable to me, in the sense that I thought it was handled really, really well, and kind of talks about how we carry trauma with us and how that affects our relationship and our life. And it's not a show that I'm going to give a rating to necessarily, but I did think it was exceptionally well done, and I was blown away by it. So those were the shows that we watched this month. It was a big TV show month for us. Let's end this off with my current favorites, because I'm sure this is a chatty one. I always go to edit this and I'm like, it's gonna be so short, and then it ends up being 50 minutes, because like, let's be real, I'm the chattiest gal in the world. So let's talk favorites. As per usual, I just kind of have a few things that I've been loving. I try not to give you guys a ton. I try to be really conscious about my like consumption and sharing that online, but these are just genuinely some things I've been loving. I don't really have any hair and makeup favorites this month, because I really don't switch much up, but I do have some perfumes that I've been loving, and they're both from FabFitFun. I'm just a huge fan of. I would pay for it myself if I didn't work with them, because I just think it's a really great bang for your buck. First is Vacation, which this is the smell of like the Vacation sunscreen company. And if you're like me and you love the smell of sunscreen and wish you could wear it in perfume, this is literally for you. It's so summery and beachy and coconutty. I just love it so much. I will quite literally just like walk into the room, give this a quick sniff, and walk away. I also just think the bottle's really beautiful, and I feel like it's a good price for like a full-sized perfume. I think it was around $60 US, which compared to like my Jo Malone perfume, which I have had for like 6 years because it's so expensive, really great price. Then I also have this little sample of Malin & Goats. Is that how you say the brand? This is their strawberry perfume. It doesn't really smell like strawberry though. I don't really know how to explain it. It says bergamot, green jasmine petals, pink pepper. I can't describe perfume for the life of me, but I like it. It smells very like adulty, kind of a mix between a perfume and a cologne. So anyways, I've been loving those. And then in terms of random things, this Nellie's Oxygen Brightener. Sensational. I did some laundry stripping, which you guys saw in the spring refresh reset vlog. This worked amazing. I feel like I'm such an adult because I'm like, look at my laundry. This is a favorite of mine this month, but so good. Has no scent, which I love. Hypoallergenic, so we can use it with like the dog stuff and whatnot. And yeah, I've seen this at like Marshall's, Home Goods, all that stuff. I got mine on Amazon, or maybe actually no, I got mine on well.ca, but anyways, a ton of places carry this. Highly recommend. I never thought I would be this girl, but the Baggu reusable bags have been 10 on 10 worth it for me. Absolutely incredible quality. I was like, a $20 reusable bag, that seems excessive. And it is a little bit, but these are the best. I keep one in my purse at all times. They bunch up really small. I can't figure out how to get it back in that cute little baggie. I cannot figure it out for the life of me, so I just bunch it up and leave it in my purse. But really, really great quality. I have put so much crap in these and they still hold really well. This is just the standard size. I love the prints. I also have it in pink and like a black and white checker, but honestly, really impressed with the quality of these. They feel like just good quality and they don't really feel cheap or that they would break really easy. And these things fit so much. Like they are a decent size reusable bag. So I have to say I'm really loving them, but I've been a big Baggu fan for years now. So I'm not shocked that I love those. I only tried the Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc for the first time this month. Hands down, a new favorite. I've seen so many people talk about this and how it is a bestseller wine, so good for the summer. No, I don't love, well, don't get me wrong, I love my sweets. I love a good cinnamon bun, but I don't like sweet wine. I really like a dry, crispy wine. And for some reason, I always thought this was a really sweet wine, so I never picked it up. However, I went to the LCBO, which is like our liquor store, and realized that it was actually a pretty dry wine. Oh my goodness, it is so good. I love wine. Like, we all know that, but I think a lot of wine tastes the same, but this to me is really unique and definitely like a step above a regular white wine for me. It says it has notes of passion fruit and gooseberry in it, and I just think it's really crispy and great, and I can't wait to be sipping this like at the cottage or outside in the backyard. Really, really love it. So if you guys are in the market for a new white wine, highly recommend. And then a lot of you guys wanted me to include like my favorite thrift find of the month, and definitely my $3 coffee table. I think it's called a telephone table, but it was $6. My local thrift store was doing 50% off Home Goods, so it was $3. And I was looking for a skinny side table to put in the library room because we don't really have anywhere to put a lamp or just to like put our coffee and stuff that's not on the coffee table. And it just fits so perfect. I love it so much. It was definitely my best thrift find of the month. These are my two favorite drinks of the month. First, we have the Thirsty Buddha sodas. This is the vintage cola one, but they have like a Sprite one, a root beer. And these to me are the most similar you can find to a real soda. Like they taste the most similar. And Matt and I've tried quite literally every like healthier soda, and we obviously still drink Diet Coke, but these are really, really good. The flavor is there and I really like them. I also am going through this phase again. I go through these phases like once in a while with these like sparkling waters, but they're sweet because they're sweetened with like, I don't know, it's probably something that's not good for you, but they're a sparkling water that's a little bit sweeter, which I like if I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. And this is just like our local grocery stores, like no name brand, but I love the lime and the peach and they're just like nice on a summer day. This one's also really good with some tequila, make a little like, I guess it's like a skinny margarita. I don't really know. I don't like my cocktails sweet, so I like to do kind of like a, I don't really like the name skinny. Like why does it have to be a skinny margarita? It can just be like a margarita with no sweetener really. So good. So those are my favorite drinks right now. But here are my favorite sweet treats of the month. First, we have the cookie dough midday squares, which I've been a fan of midday squares for years, but I hadn't ever tried the cookie dough one. This is the perfect like little afternoon sweet treat or like after dinner sweet treat. It's the perfect size. And honestly, I love it. It has 4 grams of fiber and 6 grams of protein, which is great. Hi guys, hello, I'm back. Our neighbors came over for like a little fundraiser for the kids' school, but we're here. Second treat is the Smart Sweets, specifically the tropical sour, which is a new flavor. Matt said that this is his favorite one and I really enjoy them too. So we've been really loving these. There's not really a Smart Sweet flavor we don't like. I have liked all of them. They're amazing, so good. Consistency is not like 100% like candy, but it's probably as close as you're gonna get for like a, what do you call this? Like a healthier, more like naturally flavored, lower sugar candy. I got these at Costco recently. These are the like bottom of the cone. I know you guys have had these at Trader Joe's for a while, but we just got them. So good. This is my favorite part of the drumstick when you get to the bottom of the cone and there's like chocolate at the end. These hit the spot. They're not super sweet either, which I really, really like. And the ingredients are pretty good on these as well. Once open, keep refrigerated. Okay, I gotta put these in the fridge, I guess. But yeah, pretty clean ingredients for like a dessert and literally just the perfect little sweet treat. Once again, not super sweet. Love these. I have been looking for these since I saw them on TikTok a few months ago. I finally found the Drizzlicious birthday cake bites. I found mine at Marshall's, like HomeSense, but I believe Superstore Loblaws also sells them as well. These are so good. I believe these are plant-based, allergen-free, sustainably sourced, and they are little tiny rice cakes with, I don't really know if they're frosting on them, but they are just divine. Great little, once again, sweet treat. I'm someone who likes little sweet treats, like, you know, throughout the day, honestly. And these are just perfect, light, fluffy. They got some frosting on them and a few sprinkles. Yum. 10 on 10. Delicious. So those are all my favorites for the month. I haven't really listened to any new podcast. Yeah, like I said, no beauty or hair favorites. I haven't really changed anything up. I don't really have a favorite clothing item this month either, really. Like I said, if you guys like the budgeting portion of the resets, I will have a whole separate budgeting for a new month video come out this week, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys so much. I can't wait for May. I hope May is a good month for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.